I would recommend this course to everybody. I think it's good for new agents like myself.
I wanted to learn the secret that all agents had, all successful agents had, and I got more than that.
Another day one. Monday, another day one. Start every single day as if it was your first day, and you'll be successful. Signature!
Good morning, Signature. Welcome to this week's sales meeting, August 1st. Lovely, cool morning out there. How many of you are enjoying the reprieve from the heat? Isn't that nice? I think it's kind of, I love our weather here. The struggle with the heat gets a little rough sometimes, but I like the changing of the weather. It feels good when it cools off. But it's a dry heat, but not today. It's a moist cool. All right, so I want to start off first with one big announcement that we have here at the company. I think we have one of the best leadership teams in the valley, if not in the country. We've got a lot of experience, and I've heard a lot of people say they want our management team to be a little bit younger. Not in a bad way, but I think we need to have a diverse leadership team, and we have to hit all kinds of age demographics and everything else. And so I'm pleased to announce that we have just appointed, and today's his first day, as the associate broker for the Northwest office is Tyson Roberts. I'm excited for the things that he's going to bring to the team. Not only is he showed that he's a leader with all his volunteerism at the board and being chair of YPN, and he's been on the state board for NVR, and he even sat one meeting on the board as a replacement for Chris on the national board of realtors. So welcome to the team. And he's also, you might see in the Agents of Signature, he's been posting that he's starting to do some calls every morning. So he's going to be reporting here in the mornings and trying to get groups of people to get on and make calls and really generate business to grow your business in this changing market. So welcome, Tyson. I'm proud of you. And so next we want to start off with our mortgage moment. If we could bring Shelly Panzarella up from Prosperity Lending.
Morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. All right. Whoa, exciting. All right, so a couple things I want to share with you. How many of you want to know where rates are today? Yeah, all right, good. So rates today, well, if you didn't hear last week, they did raise the federal funds rate, so we went up another quarter. They're expecting to do that again next month, or this month actually, August 1st. They're going to be doing that August 24th. What does that mean for us? That is our short-term rate. So when you hear 0.25%, because we always get that flurry of phone calls that say, hey, did you guys go up again, another 0.25%? That is for our short-term interest rates. Our mortgage rates today are between 7 to 7.5%. I'm learning the power of pause. How'd that feel? Feel okay? I know. So I think a lot of our clients are actually settling into that feeling as well, which I think is a good thing because we are starting to see more buyers. How's the market today? Are you guys seeing multiple offers? How are those seller contributions? Kind of going away? Are they still there? Going away? Yeah. Well, I've got a new program that I think can help solve one of those challenges, or it could be an area of opportunity for you guys. Have you guys heard of the Home Means Nevada Rural Down Payment Assistance Program? Home Means Nevada. I feel like Chance when he says that. Home Means Nevada. Okay. Home Means Nevada Rural Down Payment Assistance Program. If you can say that 5 times fast, I'll pay you $5. So what they're actually going to be providing, instead of $15,000, they're increasing it to $25,000. This is in the same areas as Home at Last. So that's going to be your rural areas like, and I don't know that you call this rural, but Enterprise. Where's Enterprise? It's crazy, but it's Mountain's Edge, it's Southern Highlands, a little bit of South Summerlin. Yeah? You're right. Winchester, Whitney Ranch, of course, Pahrump, I think Logandale, Overton. So $25,000 effective today. Down payment assistance. It is. Yeah. They cannot, they're only going up to 15,000. Correct. Correct. Yes, yes. But you can only apply for, like if you've done home at last, you can only do home at last once, husband or wife. The other thing is, how many of you go out to Nye County? How many of you know where Nye County is? Where is it, Lizette? Over the hump in Pahrump. How many of you work over the hump in Pahrump? One deal. This might get you over the hump in Pahrump. Okay, pay attention. It's called the BUY, B-U-Y, in Nye Homeownership Program. And they're giving an interest rate of 5.5% and $15,000. 5.5. It is income driven. 750. Actually, it's like 604. Yeah. So if you guys want information on that, you'll also be able to take advantage of, so there's an or for that. This is specific to buy in Nye. So you can either take advantage of a below market interest rate, today's rate is 5.5% and $15,000, or an interest rate of 7.125 and $30,000. Yeah. Here, this is in Nye County. So who wants to go over the hump to Pahrump? They do have wineries. Thank you, Stephanie, for bringing that out. Yes, Lizette. They're different. It depends on household. So if you guys want more specific information, reach out to one of your favorite prosperity lending loan officers like myself, and I can help you get some marketing collateral. I had coffee already. So great news, yes? Okay, so Home Means Nevada Rural Down Payment Assistance is $25,000. BUY, B-U-Y, in Nye is a below market interest rate today, 5.5% plus $15,000 or $30,000. Anything else I can help you guys out with today? Is that a lot? Okay. Thank you.
It pays to come to sales meeting. Thank you, Shelley. Great information as always. Every year we do the breast cancer walk, and Sherry heads this up for the group and stuff like that. So we raise a lot of money for breast cancer awareness, and so I want to bring Sherry up just to talk about some of the things they're going to be doing over the next little bit here to raise some money and encourage you guys all to walk. So here you go, Sherry.
I encourage you to spend money. So first of all, I got to tell you, I have a great committee. I have the best committee I've had ever, because I've been doing this for quite a few years now. But anyway, as you all recall, maybe newer people don't know about this, but I used to raffle off bottles of booze every office meeting, and we did pretty good. We made over $1,000, I think, last year, raffling off a bottle of booze, or sometimes a couple. It'll be a couple times, whatever. But this year, we have a fabulous idea to do libation baskets, because they might be wine, they might be any alcohol. This is not a finished product, but I thought I'd tease you a little bit with how beautiful this can be. And we will be putting out flyers, and the cost is going to be $5 a ticket. All this goes to American Cancer Society breast cancer, just so you know. Okay, so they're $5 each, or you can do 6 tickets for $25. She's my professional purchaser. 15 tickets, $50, or 40 tickets, $100. So we will be selling those tickets through Venmo, or Zelle. I'm going to have boxes here at the office, this office in Green Valley, your office as well. Or you can do them online with Bill Oliver, Zelle, or Venmo, or the 2 boxes, and you will actually receive a raffle ticket. And we will be raffling off the winners the day of our big fundraising luncheon, which is September 30th. I think the home people have that date, right? September 30th at Besso Restaurant, 11 o'clock in the morning, we have our fundraiser luncheon. Listen, you guys, it's a great luncheon. Besso is the owner, makes a really delicious lunch. It costs $35. And our committee works very hard on getting some really great donations for the raffle. And all the raffle money goes directly to the American Cancer Society, making strides for against breast cancer. Anyway, so really encourage you all, if you don't want to attend, maybe one of your clients would like to attend, it is something your company partakes in, and we're very proud of that. And we're looking to raise more than we did last year. I think we hit over 4,000 last year, but we'd like to do more because it's so exciting. Okay, so September 30th is our luncheon. This will start as soon as we get our flyers done, and these will probably be emailed to you, I think. We'll have them around the offices. There'll be a pink box at the other 2 offices where you can buy the raffle tickets. And again, the raffle will be announced at the luncheon. So, pardon me? We don't know yet. There'll be as many baskets as we can make, right, Lizette?
At least 4.
At least 4.
And they'll start at about a 250 or higher.
Oh, I didn't mention that.
And,
I'll do it louder.
and then also you don't have to be present to win at the luncheon. So for those of you that can't make it, we're going to actually have you fill out your name, phone number, and email address on the ticket, turn it into the box. That way, if you win, you still get the basket. We appreciate you doing it.
Okay, should I repeat that for the home people? Okay, so these baskets value are going to start at $250. We hope to have at least 4. We'll probably have more. You don't have to be present at the luncheon for, once we call off the raffle, because our raffle tickets have all your information on them, correct? And we will be contacting you if you win. So that's really great. What else did I miss there? That was great. But so just so you know, these aren't little poopy doops. This is a big, beautiful deal. Now we got to talk about the walk. The actual walk is October 22nd, and Brandon is going to be providing the T-shirts. So the T-shirts, I need you to register. Our flyer will have a QR code, and the QR code is to register for the walk. You can go into the link. You can share this with your clients too, because it is a great thing. It's just so we have a count on T-shirts. It is October 22nd. We meet at Lazy Dogs, downtown Summerlin, at 7:30 in the morning. And the actual walk, I think, starts at 8:30, but we meet at 7:30 in the morning, and with our groovy I hand out all the T-shirts at that moment. We spray paint our hair pink. I can't say that very fast. And it's a great event. And then afterwards, of course, we all have Bloody Marys and brunch at Lazy Dogs. So those are the 2 things. We will be having a bake sale as well. That's October 3rd, and that'll be right here downstairs. Last year it was great, because coincidentally it landed on the same day the bank did a pink day. They were doing a breast cancer pink day the same day we were doing our bake sale. So these are our big fundraisers: the bake sale, the baskets, and of course the luncheon. And if anybody, if you have any questions, you can always contact me or Janet or Ashley. Actually, Denise too and Lizette. We're all in the committee, and we can always help you if you need guidance or anything I missed. Okay, so really quick, because Brandon gave me 3 minutes. My other gig that I'm, and this isn't all. I'm giving up real estate career to be a volunteer, a professional volunteer. So this is my baby. It's the Military Appreciation Event. It's not just military and veterans. It's actually first responders and what's the other thing I always forget? Armed forces. God, who could forget the armed forces? Me. Anyway, this is October 21st. So we have the Military Appreciation Event on Saturday. Then we do the big walk on Sunday, the very next day. But I am in charge of volunteers for this program. And you can go on here again. There's a QR code on here. You can register to volunteer for this event. And it's a lot of fun. I kind of run the food part. It's all free food for any of these veterans, military, armed forces, first responders. It's free to everyone. There's a car show. There's a children's event area. It's a fabulous, fabulous event. And so here's flyers for that. And if you do want to volunteer, you contact me, Sherry, KK, or on here through the QR code. And I think that's it. Thank you.
So next meeting, we'll have a timer, and it'll go off in 3 minutes. Yeah, you can come up with a brand new word and everything. All right, so poopy doop. All right, I want to bring up our panel. If you four will come on up, have a seat up here. I'm excited for this panel for a couple reasons. Number one, all four of these attended the Mike Ferry Superstar Retreat. And I know the title was, we were going to do a recap of the retreat. We're going to talk about the retreat some. But all four of these have actually done a lot this year for their business in the ways of coaching, pod calls, all kinds of stuff to really grow and step outside their comfort zone. So I want to kind of dive into some of that stuff as well on what they're doing. But let's start off first. Jay, if you'll pick up that microphone there. And we've got one microphone so you don't talk over each other. We'll pass it around. They're all so excited to be up here. Can you tell?
Is it
All right.
working?
Start off just your name, which office you're out of, and how long you've been in real estate.
Jay Grasky. I'm out of the Northwest office, and I've been in real estate about 11 years now.
My name's Denise Gubler. I'm out of this office. I've been in real estate about 20 years.
I'm Linda Sonata. I am out of the Green Valley office, and I've been in it a very long time.
Jeff Davenport, Henderson office, 24 years.
Okay, so you can see there's a wealth of experience here, right? They've all been in the business for a very long time. And yet, this year, they're doing some different things in their business. And let's start off with you, Linda, since you're holding the microphone. Going into this year, what caused you, they all joined Chris's coaching that meets here every Monday, right? What caused you to want to do that this year?
I just wanted more for my business. This has been an interesting market, and being able to adapt, like Mike Ferry said, be versatile. I wanted to do that. I've always taken it for granted that I had referral business, and I wanted to grow from that, and that's why I joined coaching.
Okay. You also went through the academy this year.
I did.
And why did you do that? I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people look at the academy and say, oh, that's for new agents. Obviously, it's not. All four of these have been through academy this year. So what caused you to spend the week in there learning to make phone calls and getting on the phones?
I think Chris told us to first, but no.
You wanted a week off?
Yeah, he threatened us. No, it was a really good experience, and Brandon, I mean, I always commend you because I think, going to Mike Ferry and going to the academy, I felt like the academy was more relevant to our business, and we actually did the prospecting in class, so it wasn't just learning it and then being like, okay, let me try to remember this and let me try to implement it. No, he made us sit down and make calls for 3 hours every day, and that was really, kind of like an aha moment for me. I was like, oh, I don't like making calls, and just being in the academy was great, just feeding off of everybody's energy. We had new agents there, experienced agents, and it was just a really, really good learning experience. And we thought, oh my God, I was thinking like it's from 8 to like 4 o'clock. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this day? But it just flew by, and it was a lot of really great information. And being in the business a long time, sometimes I'm my own worst enemy because I'm, that old adage about teaching an old dog new tricks. It's true. So thank you for that.
Okay, Denise?
Well, I wanted to get out of my own way, get back motivated, get back doing business. So I jumped on your academy. I hooked up with Chris right after that. That's when I coached. I coached with him probably 3 years ago, but I was not in a good headspace. Didn't want to hear what he had to say. He ended up actually just writing me off, after a while, because I wouldn't make my calls. I wouldn't call. He to the point where, call me at the end of every day and tell me who you called. I was stressing every day at 6 o'clock because I'm going to have to lie to him, or I'm going to call the same people. I did. I called the same people that I knew would talk to me, and I made 6 today, the same 6 from yesterday. But he just eventually gave up with me. But then I hooked up with your academy, and I realized I'm now in a better headspace, and now I can do what I need to do. So now it's getting on the phone and making the calls, and being comfortable being uncomfortable. Because that first call, remember that nasty person? That first cold call?
Yeah, she listed it. No, I'm just kidding. Big thing though, like in the academy, okay, and a lot of people are fearful of going through it because of prospecting. What do you think of prospecting? Like cold calls, people you don't know? One of the big things that I think you got out of the academy, tell us about working your SOI.
So I don't want to call my sphere. I do a lot for my clients. And Chris is like, they love you, Denise. Nobody cleans their house, does repairs, all the stuff that you do, which, by the way, I'm dropping the tool belt. I'm moving on. So I was afraid to call him. And he's like, why? I don't know what to say to him. You know, and every one of them loved. That's who I called a lot during the academy, was my sphere. And they all were like, Denise, good to hear from you, blah, blah. I'm like, great. Now it's easier to call them. But now I need to build in cold calls because I want to build it up to something more.
When you called him, did you find anybody that you'd lost business by not calling him?
Yes. Yes. That one hurt. You know, I was like, probably about 15. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
if you guys aren't calling your sphere,
somebody else
is,
mm-hmm.
right? These guys are. Because just because you're in your database doesn't mean they're a protected list, right? So they're out there. So if you're not calling them, they're still buying, selling, and investing in real estate, and they know people that are. And so it's important that we call them. That's right. Jay, how about you?
I joined Chris's coaching class for, to get back on track and more money, and then he had us go to the academy, which is the second time I've done that, which was a great follow-up, getting back on track again, getting the calls and doing it 3 hours a day, which I still aren't doing, still not doing, but need to get back on track and do that. So.
The first time you took the academy, did you get any business out of it?
Yes. Yep. Actually, the first day we started calling FSBOs, I did.
You listed a FSBO. How about the second time you took the academy?
I got 2 listings, and from FSBOs again. And I like working with FSBOs.
Do it again, you'll get 3.
I know.
Right?
There you go.
You see, starting to see a trend here.
There you go.
But do you call FSBOs regularly?
Not as regular as I should. I need to get on it. Get on track. Your schedule, your ideal schedule. That's what it really comes down to. And I love what you say. Own your morning. That's the best thing.
It's kind of funny, though. We find something that works, and then we go out and try to find something else that works, because that's too easy. We can do that. We want to find the magic pill, so to speak. So he needs to call more FSBOs, don't you think?
Yeah. Yes. I love working with them.
Right?
And, and I don't mind. I'm the type of guy, if somebody calls or, they answer and say, F you, get out of here. I don't care. Go on to the next one. No, thick skin. Does not matter to me.
Perfect. How about you, Jeff?
What they said.
All right, then I'll come up with a real hard one for you.
It's actually my 3rd time going through it, so I've been with Signature 8 or 9 years. Time flies, I lose track. But anyways, like what was shared earlier, a lot of my business was SOI, and I wasn't reaching out and cold calling, and all that sort of stuff. So that's what the Academy did. Man, it's great stuff, and it was kind of cool that Tom Ferry came so shortly thereafter, because it just kind of reiterated everything.
Mike Ferry.
Oh, what'd I say?
Tom. He did the same thing I did at the end of the thing. I went up and said, hey, thanks, Tom. He looked at me, I go, oh, do you know him?
Yeah, that Ferry guy. So anyways, it was kind of cool because Brandon talks about it, and so does Chris, as far as like the scripts and this and that from Ferry. So I would highly recommend it. Like I said, it's my 3rd time through the academy, so once about every 3 years is what it's been working out. But it was shared earlier too from Denise as far as the mindset. So my mindset's totally different than what it was last time. So.
Okay, and you went through one-on-one coaching with Signature, yes?
Yes.
Did that make any difference in your business?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, because I've learned that, and I think it was shared that. Unfortunately, I can be my biggest enemy. So by coaching, and it was shared too as far as checking in. So I do check in with Chris every day now, Monday through Friday, as far as whether I did script calls, practice, and then also how many calls, how many contacts. And once again, it's like, yeah, my time is between 9 and 11 to make calls, but something came up, I'll do it later. And next thing I know, oops, no calls today. So I like being held accountable.
Okay, just so you know, Chris was going to moderate this panel, but he got a cold and he lost his voice, so I want you to text him today to call you. You want to do your follow-up?
Yeah, got it.
Right on. Okay, and so we just want to see if he's really sick. All right, so Mike Ferry event, right? You spent the week. Was it worth your time? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
You got the mic. Yes? Do you want to elaborate?
It was, and once again, like I just said, it kind of reiterates, what you teach and preach, and same thing with Chris and the other guys. But I would say yes, definitely, because it kind of, I'm just going to say just reiterates. So.
Okay, have you been to a Mike Ferry event before?
No.
Not
that
at all.
was my first one.
Okay. Would you go back?
Yes.
Okay. So even though it reiterates, it tells you a lot of the same things in a different way, right? Sometimes they sink in. Sometimes your mind space is in a different place when you hear it. Did you get a lot when he came to the office at the sales meeting?
Yes.
All right. What did you get from that?
No, it was
And
good.
why?
I mean, it was, for sure, it was good. Got to meet the guy. I mean, that was kind of cool. I've been hearing about, Ferries for a while now. I would definitely, and the nuggets that he had. And like you just said, though, it's like, yeah, it's not necessarily creating a new wheel or reinventing a wheel. We're just reiterating what is already working. And you touch on it, too, is it was kind of a reminder of like, okay, I'm doing something and it works, and then there's a squirrel over here, and it's like, oh, let's go try this. It's like, no, just stay and stick to basics.
Okay. Linda, what was the biggest takeaway you got from the Mike Ferry week-long event?
The biggest takeaway, I think, like he just kept reinforcing, the script, practicing your script, knowing what to say. Because when you don't know what to say, then you make excuses for not doing the prospecting, because you're like, oh, what if they pick up? What if they actually answer the phone? And what if they say yes? What do I say? So that, to me, was like, yeah, that makes sense. You want to get comfortable. You want to know your craft. He talks about it being a performance and how you're not going to act the same way in front of your friends and family that you would in front of a client, and just know it because you're performing. And that's our job. So, and that was my takeaway. Is just practice, role play with people that are good at it, that can really challenge you, so that when you get in front of your clients, you know exactly what to say.
So do you role play regularly now?
I do.
You do.
I do. And in fact, sometimes when I'm in the car, I'll just kind of, talk to myself out loud, and I'll role play with myself, and I'll be like, wait, I didn't like the way that sounded. And I'll be like, kind of like a little schizophrenic, but it's okay. But yeah.
So to role play, you've got to have a script, right? You've got to know kind of what you're following. And how many of you like getting phone calls from telemarketers? You love it? You're the only one, right? Why don't we like to get phone calls from somebody telemarketing? Because they're reading a script and you can tell it, right? And so what she's saying, by basically role-playing and getting that, you internalize that message and they become your words, so now you're talking. The other thing that happens when you internalize the script through role-playing and practice is you can start to listen to the client and not worry about what you're about to say. And so that's an interesting takeaway from the event. And a lot of the top people that were sitting on that front row, they role-play on a daily basis, multiple times. So Denise, what did you get from it?
It was the same thing, the script, just actually practicing it, getting out and just doing it. Because remember when we took our first walk, I'm just reading it through. When are you going to sell your house? If you can move, where would you go? I was just like reading. She's like, Denise, it's a conversation. And I'm just trying to get through the questions. But now it's like, if you practice it, it's a marathon. You got to remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Am I going to be good tomorrow? Probably not. Am I going to be good next week? Probably not. Am I going to be good next month? Probably not. But I'm getting better than I was yesterday, as long as I practice. So I get to the point. I think he said 10,000 hours of practicing before you get comfortable. That's a lot of daggum hours. But you just got to do it and just get there. And you do have to practice.
How many people were at the event?
Oh, God, 3,500, 4,000.
And
And we got there early and still had to sit in the back.
Why do you think that is? Like, look at this. 3,500 people from around the world traveled here to listen to this guy speak, right? We have him in our own town, and Mike told me this at the event. He says, it's right here in Vegas, and we'll have less people from Vegas at the event than anywhere else. Why do you think that is? You think that's, but they were sitting in the event, and he encouraged them not to go out and get hammered and drunk and not be sharp, and they dressed up in suits, they sat there, they showed up early, and these are the guys that are, and gals that are producing the most across the country. I mean, he's got $1 million like income earners that were sitting in that room, and they show up early. They sit the front row. Like, look, you guys sat in the front row because you had to, right? Everyone else fills in from the front to the back. I mean, they're there early to get a good seat. Was it nice to sit in the back?
No, because you can't hear him.
See? And so they're there.
And he can't hear anyway.
What?
He's only got one good ear.
But the thing, looking at this and just taking that message to me, when you see all those people showing up like that, it's showing that they're taking their business seriously, right? They're treating it as a business or as a job to come to work. And they were there, and they weren't on vacation. They were there to take this all in. And if you've been through one superstar retreat, you've been through multiple of them, right? Because they're about the same thing every single time. But yet they were still there, they were still in the room, and they were still listening. Why do you think that is?
Each time you do it, you'll learn something different. You'll take a different takeaway.
Okay, different spot in your business, stuff like that. And let me ask you, Jay, coming out of that week, were you more motivated or less motivated?
More motivated, again, just like coming out of your academy. You know, you're always more motivated when you see, especially when you see people up there that are making $500,000, $1 million a year. I mean, and there's a lot of them. So, yeah, very much more motivated. I liked your academy better in a way.
Yes.
I don't know
No,
why.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, kind of, you know. But it's all about getting back to the basics. You know, pick up the phone, contact people. That's really what it's about. The main thing I really took out of the academy too, the retreat, was the inventory. All of us are sitting here whining about inventory levels. Well, what do you say? There's 4.5 million that were sold. Last year it was 4.6. It's not across the nation. It's not that big a deal. And if we all do our jobs like Brandon, Chris, Mike Ferry are teaching us, we could build that inventory up. If we're out there calling people, we're going to put listings out there.
What do you think about this market? Coming into this year, it's obviously changed, right? What are your feelings of the market today?
A little bit tougher, I guess, but that's just because the rates went up. But people are getting used to it. Honestly, I think they're all getting used to it. Because the rates, I don't know if you agree or not, but they're at 7. You're just saying around the 7. That's when I bought my house 26 years ago, we're at 7 and 7/8. So we're pretty much at the norm. You know, you go back, 40 years, they're at like 30% or 18 or 20 or whatever percent. You know, something like that. So I think everybody's getting used to it. And if we just get more listings out there, you know, everybody's going to be fine. You know, and that really comes down to all of us. And that's what Ferry was teaching a little bit. You know, we can create the listings. We can get the inventory up. So just make the calls.
So has your year this year been better, worse, or equal to last year?
Better, and I want to make it a lot better. You know, just again, going through your academy, finishing up his retreat, getting on schedule. That's
Okay. So coming out of a really hot year into this one where a lot of people are struggling, his business is better than it was last year. Why do you think that is?
Well, a lot of it's to do with Chris and yourself again, you know, hitting the SOI. You know, those people know you. And like they said, if I'm not touching them, you guys are calling them. So that was really the main thing, really getting my database in control and hitting my SOI more and more.
Okay, and multiple times they said it about me and Chris. I want you to know it's not, right? We tell the people all the time the stuff they should be doing, and they don't do it, or they do it. These 4 have done it, right? It's about them. They're the ones that have taken the knowledge. There's no secrets. Like I said, a lot of it's the same that you get in Mike Ferry as you're going to get in the academy, the same principles and stuff like that, because there are no secrets in real estate. It's the basics. Every trainer out there rips off, repeats, and puts it in their own way to put it out there. But it really comes down to contacting people. You're going to have to work a little harder in this market to make the same kind of money you did last year, because it's not as easy, but because they're You know, you got sticker shock, prices are higher, interest rates are higher. But I think the biggest mindset we had to get right, and the people that have to get used to it, is the agents. We have to get used to the interest rate. We got to stop thinking that it's bad, because it's not. You know, and going to these events, you start to see that other people are selling. Other people are doing business. Why can't I? See what I mean? And you can if you get out there and make the calls. Denise, the market, what's your feel on the market?
I mean, I think it's a little down from last year, but it's not a down market. Like everybody keeps saying it's a down market. It is not a down market. Like he was saying, 4.5 million was done, you know, before COVID, and then during that whole little shakedown a year and a half ago, well, he said 6 point some odd million. No, 6 during the height. Now we're back to 4.5, 4.6, where
Back
we
to
normally
normal.
are in the U.S. So the market is the same.
No, the total sales are only different by like, I thought you said like 4.5 million to 4.6.
Right, but during that one little glitch.
There was
whenever-
one little spike right after COVID when everyone was buying second homes.
Yeah, 2021. So he said, because we're all like, oh, there's no inventory. There's no inventory because we're not out there listing the houses. We've got to get out there, make the calls, list the houses. There's buyers out there. He's not a fan of working with buyers, but you know they're out there. Just y'all didn't know that. he don't like buyers because he says you're gonna do one of three things: you're either gonna list with me, you're not gonna list with me, or I'm gonna decide not to take your listing. Those are your three choices. You know, and then move on to the next one. Drop them. Try them once, every 3 days, 7 days, and then drop them. Move on. He's like a numbers guy. Well, I don't really drop them, but he would. But I don't think it's a down market.
Okay, how about you, Linda?
Got it.
I think you're right, Brandon. Like we just have to kind of wrap our head around, you know, the change. And I mean, we got so used to like seeing rates of like 2%, 3%, and you know, when I talk to clients, they're like, I don't want to sell because you know I have a great like 2.99%, and where would I go? And it's just about like just educating them on this new norm and getting them used to it. There's always that kind of that hump that everybody has to get to, you know, and be okay with. And I think it has to start with us. And you know, if we kind of can translate that to our clients, then they're going to be okay with it. You know.
Very good. Yeah. How's the market changed over the past few years for you?
Demand a few words.
It has.
Yeah, it has. I mean, obviously. So, thank you. No, I mean, everyone else, I think, pretty much said it, that my take on is that people are getting used to the rates. I mean, they're coming back out, saw that in the springtime and this and that. And if you look back at the history of numbers, the number of transactions is still pretty much the same. So, I mean, yeah, there's lack of inventory, but like it's already been mentioned numerous times, well, we can change that, so.
What percentage of your business is listings and what percentage of your business has been buyers?
Yeah, I kind of changed a little bit this year, but like around 52% buy side, list side.
Okay, and are you happy with that, or
No.
what do you want it to look like?
No, I want it to be obviously more listings, and that's kind of another reason why I went through the academy and went and saw Ferry and this and that. It's like, I'd already mentioned, it's like, yeah, working SOI, but over the years, some of my SOI is moving out of state, so I need to replace them. And like I said, that's where I kind of had dropped the ball in the past, but moving forward. But yeah, I definitely want to get it. I think and you'll know this, the average for agents there, SOI and listing was around 60%.
So yeah, a lot of them were somewhere between 45 and 65%. And one thing that caught my attention when he was talking from the people on the front row, some of his top people in his coaching program, what percentage of their business come from the sphere of influence, and it ranged between 45 and 65%. What percentage do you think your business should be at, coming from your sphere? So he said 60%, because if it's higher than that, you're not making enough contacts of people that you don't know, right? It's not that you don't want your database to give you business, you do, but if you want to increase it, you've got to get more business from people you don't know too. So you're not just always relying on your business. What do you think your percentage is now today, SOI versus people you don't know?
I'm going to say it's still closer to the 50.
50-50?
Yeah, a little bit higher SOI.
Okay, how about you, Linda?
I would say 60.
60%?
Yeah.
Mine's 90. I do, most of mine is referral because, I wasn't making them calls before, so.
Yeah, but you're changing things, right? I mean, there's been a lot of things that have changed in your business this year I don't know if you guys heard her, she was going to drop the tool belt. Tell me what you would do for a client.
So, right.
Well, nothing?
No does not come out of my mouth, but I repair your house, I paint your house, I clean your house, I help you pack, I find you the movers, and I cut my commission. That's what I used to do. Yeah. What's that?
She never called him again.
Yeah, and then when I didn't call them again, the next house they went and did somebody else. But so after the academy, Brandon helped me see my value that 2.5, even at 3.5, and still doing all that stuff is still a great bargain. But I'm going to drop the tool belt. I'm not going to be painting and cleaning. It's cheaper to pay somebody else to do it. True. True. To come back, and I've paid sometimes, and then start just doing, if I can put everything in place. I finally hired a TC, which is nice because I did all myself. I'm a control freak. So I hired a TC. No, you find that hard to believe. And then I'm going to get an assistant, and then I'm going to get everything cleared up so that I can actually just prospect in the morning instead of doing all the other stuff.
You took a vacation this year.
I did. I took 4 days.
4 days. See how excited
I have
she
not
is?
been on a vacation in 12 years. 12 years.
And how many hours a day were you working?
Well, I'm still working those. Probably 10 to 12, 7 days a week.
Right?
Yeah.
And so been working a lot on trying to get that under control and helping her with her control issues, hiring a transaction coordinator, getting the right assistant, stuff like that, so that she can actually accomplish more and actually have more time for her and her family.
Yeah, if I don't spend some time with my family, I won't have one.
Mine's about 70% from the SOI, but I do want to get more listings, of course. So and I love working with buyers, and a lot of people do, a lot of people don't. But in the Mike Ferry retreat, he did point out how much time you spend driving buyers around and around and around when you can take a listing, not just sit there and twiddle your thumbs, but you're not wasting the whole day just showing properties, or at least a half a day, and then we're writing an offer, and then it gets rejected.
If you can do that in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it takes 8 times longer to work a buyer than it does a listing. So you can make 8 times more money working listings than you can on buyers. Yes.
If you can hear me or not, for out there, 2 other changes I made to my business too is mentioned is I do have a professional TC now, and also my commission rate that I charge for listings. I used to kind of give it away and this and that. I don't.
Right? And by prospecting or making your calls and having an abundance of leads and opportunities, does it make it easier to charge a higher rate?
Yes.
Why would that be?
That I really don't know, but what's funny is that I ask, you know what I mean? And then I say, okay, this is what we charge, and I just leave it there. They say the first one to speak loses. Because in the past, if it was a little bit of silence, I would kind of squirm and say, oh, we could do it for. Then I would cut my own commission without even coming from the other side, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And I want to say one thing. So I did after your academy, literally that Saturday, I did my first, I've never done a BBA. We didn't have them years ago when I was in the business. It's going to be required. You were outside that room. I slid my clients in town. I slid it over. I worked for 3% and $8.95. He's like, what? I said, no, normally the seller's going to pay this, but if they don't, you're going to make up the difference. And he was and I said, shut up. And he signed it. And I was like, that's pretty easy. But if you do, I'm like, show my value. Here's what I'm going to do for you when I list your house. Everyone's going to put it on MLS, but what else are you going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. So if I show my value, it's easier for me to get that 3.5. Mm-hmm. But I don't do 2.5 anymore, unless it's somebody I've already committed to before I went to your academy.
Nice. And I'll tell you why it's easier to get full commissions or more commissions when you are prospecting is because you don't have the fear of loss. Like if you're going to lose this when you have other ones coming up, you're not so dependent on that one deal, and I need that deal to pay my car payment and everything else. If you have an abundance, it takes a lot of pressure off, and you can actually charge your value, and you're coming from more of a position of strength.
That's what I was just going to say.
Would you say that? Okay, any questions from you guys for these guys? No? Just sponges, just taking it in, huh? Okay. What is one piece of advice that you would give somebody that's struggling today in their business?
Take the academy and maybe the retreat if you can, and just pick up the phone, door knock, whatever, touch. When I got into the business, my brother was a commercial real estate. He still is here, Kit Grasky, anyway, forever. He's been here forever, and he's just basically said, touch as many people as you can. And that's what it comes down to.
Be careful how you touch them. Right? Times have changed. Okay, for you guys, if you're thinking about the academy, the next academy is August 28th through September 1st. It's the last week of this month. All you got to do is message me in the app and I'll get you registered. There's no cost for it. You get to spend an entire week with me working on your business. So what is one piece of advice you'd give them, Denise?
I would say get out of your head, get out of your own way, and just make the calls. It's so I know it's uncomfortable, but maybe shadow somebody that's doing a little bit more business than you're doing, and see what they're doing, and hang with people that you're like-minded. Stay away from negativity. If somebody's, the market's bad, stay away from them because they're going to bring you down. Stay only with positive people, and shadow maybe somebody that's doing a little bit more business. But just make the calls. Get out of your own head.
Okay.
Yeah, just do it. And Brandon, you had mentioned before, you said make the first 5 calls to your own personal sphere because those are going to be friendly calls. So that'll kind of warm you up so that you can do the cold calling, the prospecting, and and just practice your craft, practice your scripts, know it, like recite it so that it comes naturally, like you're not reading like a robot, and just know it, just role play.
Ditto. No, I agree. If the academy, it's been, not to drive it over and over again, but I would highly recommend that. And if someone doesn't want to do coaching, then an accountability partner. Know the scripts. And like it was just mentioned, when I was first getting back into making my calls, the cold calls, the SOI was the easiest.
Very good. Yeah.
So if you're struggling with the business and you say you don't have any business, find somebody that has a listing, then get your title company to give you names of everybody in that community, and then you call and say, hey, we just listed. We did, the company, not you. We just listed. Those are easier calls to call around, and that'll get you comfortable with that script, even though some of them aren't so nice. But that's an easier call than just a cold call or door knock.
Nice. She mentioned title company, right? Title company can do a lot for you, right? There's 3 of them right back there in the back. They come, they're supporting us, everything else. Raise your hands. If you need anything, you can always sit down with them and they can talk to you about ways that they can help you in your business. If you're going to get into farming, which I think is a big thing, they've got all kinds of tools and stuff to help you in that. They're a resource. They're here. They come to the sales meetings. They're supporting us as a company, and give them a shot because they're, like I said, you can't have too many allies on your team. Okay, so the next thing would be, did you guys network or talk to anybody from out of the area?
I did. I actually picked up a buyer agent who was from California, and we just got to talking. She's like, oh, my husband and I have been looking for property. I'm like, great. And then so she's like, I'm not really happy with my agent. So I was like, and then I just kind of glommed onto her for the rest of the break. And it was a really good networking event. It was just really great positive energy just to be in that room with everybody. Like it's very infectious. So I highly recommend anybody that hasn't gone to go, just because it really did help my mindset. And I think that's for the most part, what holds us back is our mindset, and not really getting into that right frame of mind to just do, this is our business. This is what we do,
How about you guys? Did you guys step out of your comfort zone, go talk to other people?
I did, and I met a couple agents. They're originally from I don't know what from a foreign country, but they moved to Canada. And I just sold a house here where they moved to Canada. So I was able to make that connection. I made another connection with a guy out of, I think it's Ohio, where he wants to be like, let's role play every Thursday morning. So I did meet, some people, and it was uncomfortable at first to walk up. And I'm like, why am I afraid to walk up and say, hey, hi, I'm Denise. You know, it's not that hard, you know? All they're going to say, get going. I mean, nobody was rude. Everybody's there for the same reason.
Yep.
Just a couple of agents from California, just BS with them a little bit, and then, and then the coaches, from Mike Ferry coaches, they were hounding us the one day, like really bad. Oh, sign up, sign up. And I don't know if you know, there's one coaching thing you can sign up for $50,000 a year. Yeah, and it's
Jeff did
5
it.
minutes every day or something on the phone with Mike Ferry. But some people sign up for it. So no, I did meet a couple other agents, but no prospects or anything like that. Just BS with them.
We started redoing the scripts when they were that last day when they were like, hey, did you learn anything? Sure did. Do you think this might work for you? Yeah. Well, when are you going to sign up? That was their script, right? About the third one, they said the first line, we started finishing it.
Yep.
You think that might help?
Oh, yeah.
You want to sign up? There's your script.
There you go. They just stuck to it. That's good. Yes, go ahead.
So I have a question. So like before you guys did Academy and before you guys did Mike Ferry versus now, what's your daily, what do you do every day? Do you have a set schedule now? Or do you still make phone calls every morning? I mean, tell me about your days.
Okay, so the question for people at home is, now that she's gone through the academy, or they've gone through the academy, they've gone through this Mike Ferry, how has their schedule and their day, their routine and stuff like that changed?
Trying to stay on schedule, you know, the morning calls. And I don't do it every single day. I try to, I don't want to be a millionaire. I mean, make $1 million a year, you know, that kind of thing, because I don't want to work that much. I'm 56 years old. But I want to call every other day, you know. Okay. 3 days a week. I'll do that. You know, I'll be happy with that. I'll create listings. I'll create some buyers. You know, just get my name out there. So, but that's, yeah, it has helped me stay on schedule, basically, your academy. That's what started. You know, again, Mike Ferry retreat, that kind of reiterated, you know, that kind of thing.
I'm not going to be your right answer, but I try and plan a day, but my day plans me. It runs, I don't run a schedule, it just runs me. I'm just all over the map. But once I get my assistant and my TC's in place, then I'm going to actually adhere to a schedule so I can get off the 7 days and actually, you know.
See, it's a process. We don't want them to get out of coaching too soon, so we don't fix everything right up front. Yeah, we're working on it. I got my tool belt on.
I think time blocking is really important, and I really learned the importance of that. And Mike Ferry said, you know, if you can't control your morning, you know, that's really the problem. What you do from the time you wake up until noon is very important, because that's going to be when you're most productive. So I try to time block my day the night of, and this way, you know, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So that was another key thing, was just I wasn't time blocking my day, and I was letting my day run my schedule. And then like Jeff said, you know, at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I didn't make my calls, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And that's really important, and that's what I try to do now, is just be really, really diligent with my time blocking.
When you don't make your calls, does it weigh on you?
It does. I feel very guilty. Like you, congratulations, Brandon. You, you did. Yeah, you got to fill out that sheet, that hot seat, and it just makes you feel like crap. You're just like, oh, what do I talk about?
You guys say that you time block and you do your calls in the morning. Do you find that people answer in the morning because they're getting ready for work? People have schedules. Do you find morning better for your calls, afternoons, evenings?
You know, I'm still trying to figure that out. I signed up for the dialer service last week, actually, and you know, I tried, you know, morning time, evening, like early evening, and then I even did this past Saturday. And it's just, you got to kind of figure, it just depends. You know, sometimes I get a lot of people, sometimes I don't, and you just have to kind of play with it. And you know, any time's a great time to prospect. So if you make time for it, then you know, you just continue with the mindset, like, I need to set an appointment, I want to set an appointment, you know, or you need to hit your number of contacts daily. So that's how I do it.
And I don't think it really matters that much. Just make the calls. Just do it. You know, this is a 24/7 town anyway. So and I think Las Vegas matters less than anywhere else. But just pick up the phone and do it, or go door knock. You're gonna get business. That's the way it is.
Jeff, how's your schedule, or how's things changed for you since you've come out?
Time blocking, that was mentioned, and actually I gave you a copy and also gave Brandon a copy. So
I am Brandon.
So,
You mean Chris and Brandon? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you.
It must be the camera. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
And
the
then,
lights.
And then the other thing
He
I
actually had something
mentioned-
to say.
the other thing is, like I'd mentioned, getting a professional TC. So those are my two big things. And to touch on the phone calls, I do mine in the morning usually, but I do have 2 days and then every other Saturday set aside for calls. So if I don't reach them at certain times, then I rotate them and call them at different times.
Yeah, I think the most important thing to understand is the best time to call is whenever you do it. Because we can always find a reason not to call. People aren't home. Oh, it must be dinner time. Oh, people are probably in bed early. It's a holiday. There's always a reason not to call, so sometimes we just have to do it. Jeff, what would you say is the secret to real estate, or the secret to being successful in real estate?
Wow, magic. For me, I'm just going to say it's a mindset and just do it.
Okay.
I'm still figuring that out, but I think it's just getting in front of people. Somebody, I think you had mentioned, don't be a secret agent. You know, get in front of people, make your contacts, and just let everybody know that you're in the business and add value.
Conversations. Just have tons of conversations, and it'll just happen.
Same thing, it all fall into place. You know, you talk to people, you get business. And again, secret agent thing, they'll never know who you are if you don't tell them.
Right, and I'll just tell you the secret to real estate is consistency. Doing whatever it takes consistently and making contact. So I know Beta was at the event, Tyson was at the event, Stephanie was at the event. Who else was at the event here? Okay. Tyson wouldn't let Beta sit with him. He made him sit with people he didn't know because he's a little bit shy, and so he made him network with people. A lot of the value of this is the network connections you make with the other people, the referral system and stuff like that you can set up. Anybody that went want to share anything from their experience? Tyson, here.
Yeah. It's a little ironic that I made Beta do that because I'm pretty introverted at these events and I don't get out, but I kind of made it a point. She's actually been to, what, 3 or 4 of them? And how much business have you gotten from it just by talking? Yeah, I mean, I've seen her bounced and come back and from a 30-minute break with like 10 people's cards, like talking, doing everything. That's a small piece of it, but I think just being engaged and being around other people producing and the business, I think it was mentioned, is just huge. You know, if you're just sitting home alone and you're trying to work on your business and you get in the mindset that the market sucks and, you know, I'm just going to wait for interest rates to go down, that's not going to happen. You need to come to the office, get around other like-minded agents that do the business and be engaged in the business. Oh yeah, on that note, so I think everybody's up there has mentioned that they do the calls in the morning. So I think I'm going to see you guys every day here, right? But no, we're working around a couple of things. But every week on Monday, trying to work on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I think Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays are going to be the big days. It's just simple. Just come sit at a cubicle with us. We're role playing at 8:30 and getting on the phones at 9, taking a short break halfway through, and it's easy. You don't have to come and feel scared of cold calling. We printed off lists. You can just come and call your sphere. Just make the calls you're going to make, but at least you're doing it around other people. You get motivation when you hear someone else on the phone setting an appointment. You don't want to be the only one not getting business at these things. So yeah, I hear pretty much every day in the morning and the week, and I'm going to be making calls at the cubicle, whether it's 50 of us or just me. So feel free to come pop in and make some calls.
Yeah, so we have our prospecting workshop once a month. We started that 3 or 4 months ago, and so we do it at the Green Valley office from 8 to 12. We start off with role playing, then we do breakout sessions, and then we talk a little bit at the end about how we did. I know Jeff and Linda have been to them. I know Christine. We have quite a few of you guys have been to these events. So if you guys want to come in, and don't be scared because there's new people, veterans, there's all kinds of people there that are interested in doing it. And we always have like a different theme. We have food, we have giveaways, and I think Beta has something. Did you have something? Come on, Beta.
One thing I got from the retreat was professionals practice, amateurs don't.
Yeah. And that is so true. And that's what Mike Ferry kept saying. You know, actors, singers, they practice. They don't just get up there and sing. Exactly what he said. Practice, practice, practice.
Practice. Anything else you guys want to leave these guys with? Just do it. Okay, so you know there are plenty of opportunities and stuff. If you're struggling in your business, don't sit there and struggle. Reach out. We've got opportunities that you can come in and make calls. If you don't have scripts, I've got scripts. We can set you up with whatever you need. You come to the academy. Reach out to your mentor. We have coaching. We have all kinds of things to help you in your business. So if you're sitting there and you're struggling and you're sitting at home in the dark or in pity or whatever, it doesn't have to be that way. If you want to make it in real estate, now's the time we have to step up. We have to work harder, but the business is out there. So just do it, right? And just we'll wrap up today. Thank you guys all for coming, and remember, we're always affirming your success. Thanks.